She thought it was just another routine flight. A polished uniform, a perfect smile, and passengers she believed she could size up in seconds. The moment she let out that careless laugh, everything began to change. Because sometimes, the person you underestimate is the one who owns the runway you walk on. The airport terminal buzzed with the low hum of rolling suitcases and boarding announcements when Maya stepped up to the first-class counter. She wore a simple cream dress, natural curls resting gently on her shoulders, and no flashy jewelry. To most people, she looked calm and ordinary. One flight attendant standing behind the counter, she looked like someone who did not belong. Claire had worked this route for 5 years, prided herself on reading passengers instantly. Business executives, celebrities, wealthy travelers. In her mind, they all had a certain look. When Maya handed over her first-class boarding pass, Claire's smile tightened. Her eyes flickered up and down, lingering a second too long. First class, Claire repeated. Her tone dipped in disbelief. Maya nodded politely. Yes. Behind Claire, another attendant leaned closer. A quiet whisper, a stifled laugh. Claire did not stop herself. She gave a small, dismissive chuckle that carried more than she intended. Oh, she said lightly, scanning the ticket again as if expecting it to change. Right. Of course. The exchange lasted seconds. But humiliation has a way of stretching time. A few passengers nearby shifted uncomfortably. Maya felt the sting but kept her posture straight. She had learned long ago that dignity is often the strongest response. Without reacting, she accepted her boarding pass and walked toward the gate. On the aircraft, Claire's behavior did not improve. She offered forced politeness, skipped over Maya when offering pre-departure drinks, and spent extra time catering to other passengers. Each small action was subtle enough to deny, but obvious enough to feel. Maya sat quietly by the window, gazing out at the runway. Her expression was calm, but her silence was not weakness. It was patience. The flight landed smoothly 2 hours later. As passengers disembarked, Claire moved quickly to the exit, eager to finish her shift. She barely glanced at Maya as she walked past, but when Claire stepped into the bright afternoon sunlight outside the terminal, something caught her eye. A sleek, custom Rolls-Royce Phantom sat parked in the VIP lane. Its polished black exterior reflected the sky like glass. A uniformed driver stood beside it, holding the rear door open. Claire watched as Maya walked directly toward the car. The driver greeted her with respect. "Welcome back, Ms. Laurent." Claire's stomach tightened. Maya stepped into the car effortlessly, as if she had done it 1,000 times before. Before the door closed, she paused and looked up. Her eyes met Claire's across the pavement. There was no anger, no smugness, just quiet awareness. The door shut softly. The engine purred. The Rolls-Royce glided away. In that moment, the laughter from earlier echoed loudly in Claire's memory. But now, it sounded different. Smaller. What Claire did not know was that Maya Laurent was not just wealthy. She was the founder of a global skincare brand built specifically to celebrate and protect deeper skin tones, a company valued in the hundreds of millions. She had spent years building a business rooted in confidence and empowerment. She knew exactly what it felt like to be judged on appearance, and she also knew how to respond. That evening, as Claire checked her phone during break, she noticed a trending post from the airport's official account. A VIP arrival had been photographed earlier that day. There stood Maya beside her Rolls-Royce, captioned as a leading entrepreneur visiting for a major partnership with the airline's corporate sponsors. Claire's heart dropped. Her laughter was no longer a private moment. It was a professional risk. The next morning, management emails began circulating. The airline had received a formal complaint, not about service quality, but about conduct and discrimination. The company took such matters seriously. Cameras at the check-in counter recorded everything. Claire replayed the memory over and over. Tone, the look, the whisper. She realized too late that respect should never depend on assumptions. Maya, meanwhile, sat in a boardroom overlooking the city skyline. Executives listened carefully as she discussed a potential brand collaboration. Her voice was steady, confident. She did not mention the flight attendant by name. She did not need to. Instead, she spoke about dignity, about how service industries shape people's experiences, about how subtle disrespect can leave lasting marks. Her message was clear without being cruel. Back at the airport, Claire was called into a meeting. She had always believed power came from uniform and position. Now she understood it comes from character. When she walked out of that office, her future with the airline uncertain, she finally grasped the weight of that single laugh, not because of the Rolls-Royce, but because she had revealed something about herself. Maya's car disappeared into city traffic that day, but the lesson remained parked firmly in Claire's mind. Appearances can deceive. Wealth can be quiet. And the person you mock today may be the one who defines your tomorrow. And somewhere between the runway and the boardroom, respect proved more valuable than any luxury car.